Welcome back. Ms. Adefulire, I noticed that in almost all of the goals, there's the use of the word sustainable. Why do you think that is being harped upon? Because it gives me the impression that we have a tendency to do things and then leave them half done, or do things and then forget about them. How can we ensure that we achieve these goals and in a sustainable manner?
Sustainable development comes because the world believes that whatever we achieve must be sustainable. We're talking about the world now, which inclusive of Nigeria. Yes, an African has that tendency, but I think that we are compelled, because we are member states, to have a sustainable development, a sustainable plan in place. For example, trying to have a school built, it must be sustainable. And what are we talking about? Not to build a school for the sake of it. It must be all-inclusive. And what we have just decided to do now is to have a school that is very educative, that is very friendly for learning and very conducive, where you have water for the children to drink. You can't leave the children all day without water. We are working with the state government to ensure that schools have water, has perimeter fence for safety and security. Toilet is there, and the landscape, the environment that make it conducive for learning. Recreation area must be part of it. The school itself, the building must be conducive. So those must be sustainable for learning. So these children that are coming from that school must have a life. We must invest in their life today for their tomorrow. Don't forget that we call them leaders of tomorrow. We must sustain them now. We must encourage them and build in their life for them to be responsible leaders for tomorrow.
It's still talking about children. In a statement to mark this year's Children's Day, the United Nations said millions of Nigerian children still suffer some form of physical, emotional, or sexual violence despite SDG goals to end the practice by 2030. What can we be doing to protect our children? Are we doing enough to start with?
We have the child rights law in place. I think it was adopted, enacted in 2003 by the national government. It was expected that the state of the federation should domesticate. And I recall that when I was Commissioner for Women Affairs in Lagos State domesticated the child rights law. We still have some states in Nigeria, like 5 states, I think, are yet to domesticate the law. It is when we have this law in place, domesticated by the government of each state of the federation, because this law protects the right of child. So we must have this law in place. Aside from that, in Lagos we have a domestic violence law. Under my watch also, we have the law in place. All these laws are not only enacted by the Lagos State House of Assembly. We ensure that we create awareness. When I was in Lagos, create awareness to ensure that people know about the law and the offender know that there's a punishment. And the children themselves that are beneficiary of this law were informed. So we are working on that to be replicated in all the states of the federation. And fortunately, the wife of the president is also interested in that. Very soon, we are going to come up with a policy that will be a national issue that will protect the right of child.
Gender-based violence is also a big problem. Sexual violence is another topic that is often talked about in hushed tones. People, how can we bring it to the foreburner in Nigeria such that the victims don't feel that they have to be quiet about it?
I just said now that we have a domestic violence law that protects both men and women, because when the law was to be passed, it was centered on women, and some protests came that what of men, if men is molested, what happens? So we now made it general that, okay, you have to be protected against violence, either you are a man or you are a woman. And we try as much as possible to make a very strong advocacy and sensitization on the establishment or enactment of the law. Do you understand? And we discovered that women don't talk, they don't speak out. We discovered during our research to know that they don't speak out because they believe that they will be asked to pack out of the house. Where do they go? So they can't go back to the stigma of going back to your family house is there. So they keep quiet. They normally keep quiet. They don't talk because there's nowhere to go. And that was why I established the transit home in 2009, which was commissioned in 2010 in Lagos. So immediately we commissioned the center. The Governor Fashola commissioned the center. That week alone, I have 42 cases, which I have not been having before, 42 cases. And the home now, which has 172 beds, is always full. What are we trying to do? It's just to protect women from abuse and girls from abuse. So if you have issue of violence and you report to us, we will separate you and intervene, counsel the husband, talk to the woman, try to bring peace to the home before you return back to the home. And it has been working for us. Not all the cases we take to court. There are some cases that we can resolve through alternative dispute resolution. So, and that's what we are doing and bringing peace back to the home because of the children.
Women in politics is clearly a topic that's dear to your heart and to mine as well. The field is clearly not level in politics. How can we level it so that more women can be involved in and you've been a politician for a long time, since the 1990s. How did you manage to stay on for so long and do so well?
Well, I think that determination is one. Passion for work is two. And, you know, it depends on you. As much as we try to mentor more women and to encourage them to come into politics, because you can't force anybody to come to politics. We need to mentor them. We need to encourage them. You need to prepare them. You need to they have to make themselves available. And they have to make themselves usable so that we can sustain them. So those are the things. Then you can't just say you want to climb the ladder. You know, I think what they think that they want to do or what can be done is not call them from where they are and give them appointment. It's not so. It can work out that way, but it's not every time. It doesn't happen every time to say, oh, it's appointment. But you have to prepare a grant for yourself. For example, if you want to be a politician, you have to have a ward where you attend meetings, where they know you have to know you in your community, and to do one or two things, and to attend meetings regularly. From there, you make yourself visible in your community, okay? And from there, they can say, oh, you have been doing this thing. Community participation, you say you have been doing this thing for us without representing us. Can you please represent us? It happens that way. For example, if you are a commissioner for women affairs, you represent women, and you must protect the right of women. You must let them understand that you are not there for yourself or for your family, or you are not there to make money. You are there to represent people. And whatever you do today will be recorded for you for tomorrow, for you, and it will be waiting for you tomorrow. But some of us, when you get to office, we forget what we are elected for, or what we are appointed for, or what we represent. And of course, we must build our homes. As women politicians, we have a lot of things to do. Our home is very, very important because immediately we get appointed, if we forget our homes, the home will call us back.
So what you're saying is how far a woman can rise in politics, and indeed in any profession, sometimes depends on how well he or she is able to maintain her home, right? Yes,
we have to maintain our home. We need to pray very well for direction. If you are a Muslim, you need to pray. If you are a Christian, you need to pray for God direction, for God to rule our hearts, to direct us. Because at times when you get carried away when you are in office, if you don't pray very well and invite God all the time, you get carried away. And by the time you know it, you are out of the game. Or when you are in the home, you don't give respect to your husband again because you have you are in political office, or somebody has made you a special advisor or whatever it is. I'm afraid though, whether you are going back or not. So we need to know. And those people that we represent, we must represent them very well to the best of our ability and with the fear of God. So we need that, because men, they are the head of the family. And don't forget that politics, they call it men's world. We are just coming in to supplement, to complement what they are doing. So if you are complementing, then we must complement well.
Someone said that women do not recognize their own power. Do you find this to be true?
They did not, and they did not utilize it effectively. We have a lot of opportunity that God has given to us. A lot of opportunities. Because no matter what it takes, women are respected. But you must even also respect yourself. Do you understand? We don't take advantage of what we have to get what we want. Do you understand? And I think that that's what is happening. It's not about ego boosting. No. Whatever you want to get, you can get it. As calm as you are. No, you can't. You don't need to. Even if you boost your ego, you won't get it. You won't get it. But I know that God deposited a lot of opportunity in women. But how far have we utilized it? That is a question we should ask ourselves.
Mrs. Adejoke Orelope Adefulire, we thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, my sister. It's a pleasure having you around.
Thank you. And we thank you for watching. Please join us next time when the program returns. But between now and then, let's continue the conversation online at channelstv.com. And tweet me your thoughts, please, at @MoreDailySY. Thank you again for watching, and please join us again soon.